Welcome to the Take a Listing Today podcast, where our hosts Jim Studebaker and Todd Robertson give you strategies to get you out of the office right now so you can take a new listing today. And now, here's Jim and Todd.
Hello, once again. Look at that. We are back. The Take a Listing Today podcast. Thank you for joining us this week. I'm Jim Studebaker. Over there, Todd Robertson.
Howdy, howdy.
And you'll never guess who's over in the producer's corner.
Is it? Could it be?
It's the producer, Lisa Gray. Hey. Nice. Thank you for being with us today, Lisa.
Do I have a choice? No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I love it here. I love it here.
You know, honestly, Todd and I wouldn't show up if you weren't here. So
Correct. And I think our next mugs, we need all three of us. We need her on here.
that would be nice, huh?
And maybe a third eye, you know.
A third eye, a third person, they would all be pretty good in there. So
Exactly.
before we get into our topic today, don't forget to
Welcome.
visit our website, takealistingtoday.com, to learn about our upcoming shows and to join us for our next live podcast recording where you might win some great prizes. And speaking of a great prize, look at today's topic.
Ooh.
How to take over a market by standing out from the rest.
I like that segue.
That is, thank you. Appreciate that. So, you know, it's rather impossible that the vast majority of agents are true neighborhood experts in their specific market, yet they all label themselves as such. So how do you cut through their clutter and not only stand out in a specific market, but take it over? It takes more than just a statement on your website or a business card to do that. So we thought we'd get together a couple of ideas for you to define your area expertise and use it to take over your market.
Exactly. And think about this. I spoke with a realtor last week, signed up for Market Dominator, and here's what he told me. I liked his mindset. So he has his geography where he's marketing, right? In his mind, that's his sandbox. He says, when I come home for work, speaking of standing out from your market, he says, if I see another sign in there, that upsets me. He didn't use that. He used a different word. And he said, boom, that's my sandbox. That's me. I own that. That's a great mindset. If speaking of taking over a market, he's going to email them. He'll do door hangers. He's going to drop some marketing pieces. He's going to go meet them face to face. He's pushing all the chips in playing.
You have to have that mindset to go in and take over, to dominate a market, right?
Right.
So when you're ready to take over, we have 28 handy steps here. It's not really 28, but it's a couple because, you know, it takes a little bit of work. So here's step number 1. Figure out what makes you remarkable. Unique is a word that gets tossed around a lot when it comes to discussions on branding. Among real estate agents, however, commonalities are more obvious than their differences. So let's face it, the basic duties of every real estate agent are the same. You list homes, you fill out paperwork, you show houses, and you act as your client's intermediary. So this is where the personal branding becomes a crucial differentiator.
Very crucial. And when I look at the word remarkable, here's how I see it. Let's say as a realtor, right? Everybody should have an elevator pitch. You're at a cocktail party, you're at an event, you're at your convention, right? And you're going up and you meet somebody. When after that 1 to 3 minutes, when you part from those people and they go to wherever they are, wherever you met them, are they able to remark about you? Able to remarkable. Did I leave such an impression during that 1 to 3 minutes that they were able to remark, or am I just another realtor and boom? So by the time we get off that elevator, I don't exist. So so think about that. Your 1 to 3 minute elevator pitch, can that allow you to be remarkable and stand out?
Right. And one thing that would make you stand out is by figuring out what makes you different than the other agents out there. Is it your education? An agent with a Juris Doctorate or even a staging certificate has an angle that many other agents will lack. Perhaps a previous career. They'll often play into an agent's branding efforts as well. As a former TV news anchor, Bob Sokler with Remax uses his background to produce real estate video that stand out and brand him as the expert in that area. So, answer the following questions to help determine what makes you different. What are your interests? What motivates you? What are your strengths? What behaviors, attitudes, and abilities have consistently produced positive outcomes for you?
And the reason that question is important is the following, is that there's so many ways in real estate that you could get business, right?
Sure.
Like when we interviewed Gary, what he and his wife do, the past client centers of influence. So I wrote down, don't do something you hate. Because there's so many different ways to do it. You can become the neighborhood real estate specialist. You become the master of your past client centers of influence, the business-to-business person. So don't do something you hate. Find something that you love, which these series of questions, if you're taking notes, answer them for yourself. It's going to steer you in the right direction.
You shouldn't be doing something you hate anyways, your career. If you hate it, go do something else. Life's too short for that.
Right? But how many realtors have we talked to that said, oh, God, I got to go do door knocking. Oh, my broker says I got to get on the phone.
Yep.
Well,
Very true.
And there's that conversation about generalist again, which we spoke about on last week's
Right.
podcast. The idea of trying to be everything to everyone. And yeah, if you do that, you're going to touch on areas you probably don't want to do. Because who wants to be a generalist? Who wants to be doing everything? We all have our little areas we focus. I mean, if you truly love boating or golfing, this is your thing, you live for it. Maybe those are the individuals that you want to go after. Maybe you want to really focus on listings that are on lakefront properties or in Gulf communities, and these are the people that you want to try and grab as buyers in these communities. That's going to be your farm. That's where you're going to put everything, because
And that's
what you love.
Exactly, and that's a great point, because let's say you love golf, boating, boom, farm, whatever. You'll know how to talk to them. You'll know their dialogue.
Totally.
You'll have instant rapport with them. So that's beautiful.
Absolutely.
All right. So what else can you use to differentiate yourself? How about your education and previous work experience? What is an asset from your past that you can bring in and utilize now? We're not talking about little donkeys there. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes. And that was not a courtesy laugh. That was for real.
That was for real. Lisa's even over there chuckling. She's trying to be quiet so she doesn't interrupt the show.
It was a courtesy chuckle.
All right, thank you. All right. Get clear on what makes you remarkable. Those qualities, those aspects of you are what help you stand out in a specific market. Now, once you've got that figured out, state those qualities or commodities in a declarative
or descriptive, if you want.
Or just
She might have gone to a better college than us, because I didn't learn these words at Cal State Bakersfield, and you didn't learn that at Florida State.
No, I think she's.
my career.
I think she's doing this now just to make me look bad now on TV.
She's trying to make a point.
That's not
Okay.
good. All right.
Oh, boy.
We're just going to skip that whole section. Move on to number 2.
Number 2. You're going to love number 2, by the way, you guys.
Number 2. Who is your target client? All right. Radio DJs are taught early in their careers to get a clear image of who they're talking to every time they open the microphone. They're told to imagine one person and speak directly to him or her. Actually, there was normally only one person listening to the stations I was on when I was starting out.
Oh, yeah.
So.
It's very easy for me, too. When I was doing seminars and they said, focus on one person, I only had 3 people in the group, and they were all related. So I'm like, okay.
You just focused on your mom.
Exactly. It was my mom or my grandma would normally be the one person listening when I was on there. So
makes us feel better.
Yeah, it worked out good, because she'd say, oh, you did a great job. So thanks. Maybe go back the next day. All right, define your target client. It may help to create an actual profile of this person. For instance, if your passion for golf has led you to decide to concentrate on golf course homes, your ideal client is obviously somebody who plays a lot of golf. Is he retired with lots of spare time, or a weekend warrior that hits the links as soon as the tie comes off? Golf isn't cheap, so this client most likely has disposable income.
Fish where the fish are, go where the money is.
Yes. So once you know who your target client is, you'll be in a better position to start thinking about how you'll brand yourself to attract this client and others like him. Remember, your brand has to resonate with the market that you're targeting and stand out as authentic from the sea of other agents surrounding you, vying for that same market.
And I would say those of you that are listening, watching right now, there's a great book out there that ties into this topic, which is Guerrilla Marketing. It's been around forever. And a lot of companies, they say Jimmy John's, they live by that book. When you buy a franchise, and I read the book years ago, I need to reread it, but that just stuck out to me, guerrilla marketing, because the average realtor is not going to do it. They don't know how to do it. The ones that do it dominate the market beyond belief.
All right. So for those of you taking notes, which is hopefully everybody's, number 1 was what makes you remarkable. Figure that out. Number 2, who is your target client? And now number 3, try it on. Once you know what sets you apart and you have a handle on the types of clients you'll attract in a specific market, now you need to try some things out and see how they'll be perceived in the marketplace. Ask yourself, are you flashy, edgy, comforting, or sophisticated? And does that fit the consumer base that you're trying to attract? The feel that you want to promote dictates how you'll build the basics of your brand in a specific market. Considerations regarding logos, Fonts, colors, and graphics that fit your theme and relate to your customers are important. Once you've found that good fit, you'll need to build that brand into your website, your blog, your business cards, brochures, and everything else that makes up your business's public face.
And think about branding, right? Most realtors, that's not on their radar. That's not what they're thinking about right now. They're thinking of survival, a lot of them. The ones that brand themselves are looking at the long-term big picture. They're still prospecting. They have a schedule. They're still working that day on getting now business, but they're not panicking because they've been building for the future business as well.
Mm-hmm. So, not every agent can be the top salesperson in all aspects of a market, but each can find their own branding niche. Dog-friendly agent, lakefront home boating enthusiasts, modern design brokerage, or stone-cold investment negotiation expert. Once you've figured out your specialty, find the visual guidelines and a business process to inform your specific prospects that you are the right professional for their needs.
Now think about that. Implementing these strategies will make you a lot stronger. Think about when we got into the business. What did our broker tell us, right? I never forgot. I later on realized it was funny, but at the time I didn't take it as funny. He goes, you get your license. You go in the first day. You're all excited. Mm-hmm. Remember, they give you the phone book back in our day.
Start at A.
And so here was our desk.
Yep.
The other realtor, there was still some stuff in there. He didn't clean it all out. But what they said was, here's your desk, here's your phone, good luck, you're on your own.
Right.
They didn't talk about branding or systems in place, right?
Exactly. Start calling.
Right.
That was it. And they told us, if somebody says, we only sell the principals, and then our response was supposed to be, what about teachers? So that was actually true.
You know what's funny about that? The people with the last name A got so many calls because there were probably then realtors that kept dropping off, so they never got past the A's. So think about all the consumers in the phone book in the letter A. So whatever that first name is, they're probably like, oh, another realtor.
The smart broker should have said start at Z, and then work your way backwards.
Floyd Wickman did. So Floyd, right, of all of his teachings, he used to say, the Haynes directory, he goes, start at the bottom because people didn't, to your point, he goes, nobody called those people. Start at the bottom and work your way up.
Yeah.
Or at the middle and, something.
Right,
Don't start at the beginning.
Nice. All right. So that takes us to topic number 4. Create your marketing plan. The number one rule, once you've determined your marketing plan, is to stick with it.
Question, if they want to get our marketing plan, which I know we have, where can they go get that? Because I love our one-page business plan.
So you're talking about the 12-month marketing planner, which, is phenomenal. I mean, the agents really, really love it. It's like their Bible. If you go to blog.prospectsplus.com, scroll to the bottom, you will see a bunch of awesome free resources down there. The one-page business plan is there, which you can start working on maybe already for next year.
Yep.
Or you can use it for this last half of the year, really.
Right.
But also the business planner is right there. There's 6 months or 5 months left in the year. You can use that, the remaining 5 months, and really look at what to send out each month for your niche, for your farm, for your SOI. It's all in there. There's a nice affirmation with each page. There is a nice area to put some goals and then look back and see what you've accomplished. So it's a great all-in-one resource.
So a realtor listening right now, I go to
blog.prospectsplus.com.
Scroll down to the bottom.
Down to the bottom, and it's right there. Yeah.
And you're going to put that in all the notes for the show, right?
Yep. So. It is in all the notes for the show.
Nice.
It's already
so
there.
If you're out driving right now listening to this podcast, don't write that down. When you get to your final destination, you can
that will be there for you.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So trusting the process involved in marketing in times of doubt is the key to long-term success and growth in a specific market. This lack of understanding is why NAR states 85% of agents quit their marketing campaigns before the 5th contact. If you truly are determined to take over a market, don't be one of those agents.
Well, and here's really what that tells us. What the point you just covered is if a realtor looked at it for real, they would say, the truth is I have no competition. They're the real competition. Now, when they become strong and start implementing this, they'll realize in their town, like 3 of us know, there's probably 8 or 10 or 15 people that are shooters, players in their market.
Right, I'd agree.
But that's why that stat is in there.
Well, and it's interesting. In my neighborhood, It's a come and go, come and go. I see the door, actually, the revolving door swinging as a consumer because I get the mail every day.
Oh,
right?
yes.
So a new face will come on, oh, here she is, Susie. And I'll see a couple postcards, maybe 2 months.
Yep.
And then Susie's gone. And then it's dry, nothing.
Nothing.
And then 6 months later, maybe now Alan. I see Alan 1 postcard or maybe 3. As a consumer, I'm watching this. I'm seeing the come and go, the come and go, and the come and go. And if you're looking for a realtor in our neighborhood, I guess you're looking at family or friends, or you're getting online and just digging around, because there's no neighborhood expert that I can see.
Right.
It's people coming and going. And I don't remember who that person was because it was a year ago. I don't know who they were. I wish they'd send another postcard.
Right. It just means they didn't have a campaign or system in place. It was haphazard. I got some money. Oh, let me do some postcards are good. They're very good if you keep doing it long term and make it a campaign, not a one-time.
The 3727, which I think you're going to start talking about now.
Got to stay top of mind. Yes, that's the law, right? The law of branding.
Don't break the law.
Do not break the law. Understand that it takes 3 contacts for someone to recognize you, 7 for them to start putting the name with the face, and 27 contacts for you to own a piece of their mind share that equals market share. That's the numbers, 3727.
3727. And think about how many companies out there. Think about branding, right? Like Coca-Cola. Think about Amazon. And then let's bring it all the way back to what you just said. How many realtors will have this staying power? That number 27 could overwhelm a lot of people, but it will not overwhelm the people that are committed, the people that want to win and dominate or play in this game for real. They'll be like, ooh, that's beautiful. Why? Because they know the same thing you just said. They go to their mailbox and they see people playing sporadically or haphazardly.
Yeah. And most people aren't going to go to 27. They're going to go to 3, maybe 7.
Right. Oh, I mailed out 3. I didn't get anything. Okay, geez, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, they're breaking the law.
What's interesting about even 7 when you think about that, and I've never had 7 happen in my neighborhood.
Correct. I've had 3. I've got 3 in my neighborhood.
And I know one of them, I remember she had brown hair, so that must have been maybe 2. But if she had maybe just made it to 7, I would have possibly gotten the name enough.
She would have owned
that I could have looked her up when I was ready. Not ready at that time, but she's got enough of that market share of my brain that I go, oh wait, her name was Liz something, brown hair, about 35, and then I go and I can maybe start sourcing and finding her.
Well, I love what you said. Here's a great example, right? People think branding doesn't work. How do you spell relief? What's the answer?
Right. Rolaids.
Rolaids. And that commercial has not been on TV for over 15 years.
Right.
So they branded so much, they own a piece of this, and people go to, now I guess Tums is the big thing or whatever, but it's interesting. I mean, that stuck. I mean, that worked. Boom.
So I'm not sure what to make of this one here, Todd. There are commercial jingles I can recite from my childhood that haven't aired in 30 years, like I wish I were an Oscar Mayer Wiener. That was way before my time, Lisa. I don't know why you think I would have seen
Lisa's going to have to elaborate on that.
Ago.
Will you sing the song for us?
I was having you read that from my mother.
Oh, is that it?
Yes, she told me that last night. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's... I don't know.
Remember, now speaking of branding, that company had that truck and they drive it around the country. The Oscar Mayer,
yes,
right?
I had a ring. You know what? I did, and it was one of my favorite things, a little hot dog on the ring. Actually, speaking of...
on a ring.
When you're a kid, you love it.
All right.
I think it was my favorite. We went on a trip to Florida, and my favorite part of the trip was that the guy in the truck came up and handed me that little plastic 90-cent ring.
Right.
So... they didn't have to do the trip to Florida, right? I could have just gotten the ring.
Welcome to Florida, have a hot dog ring?
Yeah, and that's the part I remember is the hot dog.
I always thought Florida was oranges.
And it has a whistle to drive the parents crazy on the rest of the vacation.
Yeah, the parents really love that.
Oh, yeah.
When you talk about branding, here's how powerful, yes, jingles is one way, but Band-Aid. People think that is called Band-Aid. It is not. That is the brand.
Kleenex, same.
Rollerblade. They are not rollerblades. They are inline skates. People think they're called rollerblades. That is the brand.
Jacuzzi hot tub.
Yes. So that is what it is about.
Huge.
Become so branded that people say, I need to hire a Liz Brown.
Right.
Instead of a realtor, right? You're so branded, they use your name instead of...
Yeah, but it's kind of like you have your doctor.
Yeah.
Boom, now I have my realtor because they've been doing this. I'm not using anyone else. This person gets it done from A to Z. Gets me the most money, shortest period of time, and I have the least amount of challenges.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'd love to see a neighborhood expert in our neighborhood, so I don't have to think about it. When
Right.
I get to the point where I want to sell, buy, or I'm just curious, want to find out more about market trends,
Right.
I don't have to think about it anymore. I know who
You're
she
like,
is.
that person's
she comes
for real.
in, yeah, she enters my mailbox on a frequent basis, and I just give her a call.
So you're doing-
Make it easy.
Yeah, you're doing all your prospects a favor by making it easy on
Gosh,
you when it's time to
absolutely
buy or sell a
Don't
house.
Give me
then.
one thing I don't have to research on my own,
Yeah.
please.
So
Yeah.
when Lisa and Kirk get ready to move, you might want to put the market dominator in place right now. So because that is a 2-year listing campaign.
We'll give your home address here after the show. And great. Okay. So, what are the key elements to keep in mind for effective marketing campaigns? Here are a couple. Headlines and copy that demand attention and is targeted to your specific audience. Great photos, illustrations, infographics that educate and reinforce your message.
Let's talk about great photos for a second, because I kid you not, I look at listings on my phone, just like realtors, right? Different places. And unbelievable, someone's going to take a $200,000, $300,000, $500,000, $700,000 listing. Now, not everybody, but a lot of times you'll just see one photo and one description, and you're like, are you kidding? Because if I'm that homeowner, I don't feel good about that. I want a potential buyer to see as much as they can, especially in this, you know, what we're dealing with in this day and age. Maybe even the video, the virtual tour, the more the better, right? I mean, standards.
You would think they would step that up a little bit on a high price listing.
Well,
but-
and often they'll just show, like, the closet is the one photo. And then you're thinking, what is happening to the outside of this house? They won't even show a picture of the outside. I would rather, no, you're going to have better chance of getting people to come and look at that, even if it's a fixer-upper, if you show a bunch
you got to
of
tell them the truth,
photos.
right? A business person.
Get the photos out there. Don't assume that you know who wants that house. Maybe they don't care that it's in disrepair, you know,
Right.
that it needs some work.
Maybe it's
But
perfect.
one-
Oh, I can fix it how I want.
Right, but one closet.
One
photo.
closet. Well, maybe there's a safe in there with a lot of stuff in it. We don't know.
I don't know.
Or the infamous picture of the commode, like picture number 2 in the MLS.
Right,
but
right. Well, and
I
just
don't know what that's all
reinforcing,
about.
you know, we're talking about this idea of what is your headline, what does your copy say, what are the colors you're using? Don't become a generalist again now. You've figured out who you are, you've figured out why you're remarkable, you've got your tagline, you've got your focus. Don't go back to being a generalist or being sporadic or random when you're putting together a postcard. You know, sometimes I see some really cool ideas by agents that are uploaded to ProspectsPLUS, but the colors, one will have orange, the next one will have green. There's all different colors being used, different fonts being used. Trust me when I say human beings are taking this in, and when you've got a company like, a good example is Target, they used to be Target and they showed the Target underneath as a logo. Then eventually you didn't see the name anymore and they just showed the Target. Now all you have to do is see that shade of red in a circular, like a ball that's red, you know it's Target.
Yep.
And many companies do this. They are completely branded by their color or by their font. So please use every advantage that you can to reinforce your brand. Don't go random now that you're putting together your marketing materials.
Nice. Well said.
Yeah. So make sure you use a call to action in all of your marketing that tells your audience exactly what to do. Don't let them guess. Is it call you, text you, email you, tell them what to do? You might want to use some standout pieces, maybe an oversized marketing piece. Maybe you want to use the largest legal size postcard available by law. Ty, would you know anything about that?
Well, you happen to know a little bit about that, actually.
Really? Okay. Tell us.
So we have a product called the Market Dominator. In other words, and you guys probably, at least half of you probably know about it. But if you went to ProspectsPLUS.com, second button from the top is products. On the very bottom, it's alphabetized, Market Dominator. 6-minute video gives every detail. But in a nutshell, to Lisa's point earlier, it happens at my mailbox, probably happens in your area. I see some people, oversized postcards 3 months in a row, really amazing. I go, wow, these people are stepping up. Boom, disappeared. Same thing, right?
Breaking the law.
A lot of people hit quarterly. Right? If you break the law, you don't get branded. So the Market Dominator is a 12 by 15. It's the largest legal size. And the best example I can give you here in 20 seconds, about 3 or 4 months ago, I had an agent call up, and from Beverly Hills, California, right? Beverly Hills, right? A lot of this, right by Hollywood. And here's what he said, because we actually sent him the marketing piece, right?
Okay.
He called up. Here's how it went. He goes, you know, everybody wants to sell real estate here because it's Beverly Hills and the prices are incredible. And I'm having trouble standing out. And I just got this thing. I don't know the details. Give me the details. I'm in. So think about that. So once he got his area,
Right.
which is exclusive, he is the only one that could send the market dominator in that area. It's a 2-year listing campaign. So to Lisa's point, outside of a referral or family member, if someone's going to sell their house, if they're going to move somewhere else, they're going to go look at that and go, wow, this person's marketing at this level, right? At this level, 12 by 15, and you could put your house right here. So think about that. A tiny postcard versus this.
Nice.
2-month marketing campaign versus a 2-year campaign. Mine sure does equal market share, and everybody else fights for second place.
So if anybody's interested in that, you might want to go check that out at ProspectsPLUS.com. So make sure that your marketing has some kind of direct response or opt-in offer with informative free reports, market analysis, free lists of homes or other resources, something valuable to your specific market, which I believe is on the Market Dominator each time. And finally, make sure it is trackable. You want to use unique URLs or phone numbers and always ask how people found you. That's how you're going to determine what type of marketing is actually working for you and bringing in the leads. So remember to keep records of each campaign that you initiate, including reports on the budget and the effectiveness based on the leads, transactions, and revenue that they generated. If you don't do that, you'll never understand what message met your market in just the right way, so you can expand on the things that are working and grow your business even more.
So digest this podcast. If you have to go back and listen to it, there's a lot of meat, there's a lot of substance in here, and take what resonates with you and incorporate it, right? Education without application is worse than worthless.
That is correct. So hopefully you will take the education that you got today and you will take over a market by standing out from all of the rest. So thanks for joining us. Today's podcast was brought to you by Prospects Plus, offering real estate postcards that work. Design, print, and mail in minutes. Be sure to visit their website at ProspectsPLUS.com and search for the real estate postcards that work. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Take care, you guys. Thank you.